Absolutely.
The other day I was asked a really interesting question. I wrote the whole thing in the blog.
Yes.
It had to do with the positive disintegration by Dabrowski. And this woman asked me how to overcome the stage 2. I can explain in a way what that means, but she said that most people go back to stage 1.
Mm.
In Dabrowski's way of seeing development, we go through 5 stages. Actually, I made a summary in this representation.
Yeah. Yeah, that always helps when you get a visualization of the representation of what you're saying, you know. Visuals are always good.
So in stage 1, people somehow conform themselves with conventions, working, raising a family. They don't necessarily experience psychological conflict or pain or diseases. It's all very normal in quotation marks because what we see as society cannot be normal. Mm. If you are awake, you see society is a madhouse.
Yeah.
And well, most people assume that's how things are. They might believe in God, they might believe in Jesus or in Allah, or they are atheists. It's all the same
Right.
because
Absolutely.
inside they don't transform anything.
Mm.
They cannot change anything because that's how things are. So in this stage, there is no disintegration of any kind. Now, some people think, well, what is going on? Where are we? Is this normal? People killing themselves in wars, politicians doing whatever they want, stealing what we pay. That
Mm.
cannot be well. That cannot be righteous. So they start to think, and this is why some people feel very bad, and some kill themselves. They enter the psychosis.
Yeah.
I'm being attacked by society. They
Right.
fall into drugs, into alcohol, into.
That's another form of killing yourself. Yeah.
Mhm. It's a way of trying to get rid of the pain and suffering
Mm-hmm.
because you don't see an alternative. And
Right.
that's the problem because in stage
Yeah.
2, you are in conflict, it's duality.
Mm.
This is why I use the Enneagram to explain it.
Yeah.
Because in level 1, it's unilevel, as Dabrowski said. So you don't see higher values or lower values. It's all very monotonous. It's a false unification because they don't manifest disintegration or depression. It doesn't mean they are not divided inside, no, but
Right.
people look in principle normal, but then you see what they do or what we do, and
You're known by
that's
their fruit.
yes, it's where you realize something is not really working and it's very dangerous. Now the problem is that if you don't see higher values, you go back to the stage number 1, and most people that begin to wake up, so to say, act like that. Even in universities, no, you may study law or sociopolitics or philosophy, but
Yep.
you are still in this toing and froing from one and two,
Yeah.
one and two.
Yeah.
Now, other people have more potential and they reach stage 3. This is when you see alternatives. Maybe you read about some spiritual teacher that can realize certain ability to govern the body or the emotions or the mind, but you realize you cannot do anything. You are helpless. You need something else and you don't know what it is.
Mm.
You see contradiction in yourself, like Paul said, no? Seeing what I have to
I
do, I do the
do.
opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
And this is where you find yourself in trouble because you see a better way of living, but you don't know how to develop it. And it's amazing the coincidence because here in the Enneagram is where we introduce the additional force.
Yes, the
So
threshold to
we
get you
need
over.
exactly
Yep.
do, re, mi, from me to fa. You need
Yeah.
an additional semitone.
Yes.
And that is the cultivation of higher values, which is the stage four.
Woo.
I think Dabrowski was into the Enneagram and the teachings
Yeah.
of the fourth way because in the
Right.
fourth way, the man number four is the one that starts working on his mind, his emotions, and
Yes.
his body.
Right.
So the human number one is mechanical, physical, visual. The man human number two is emotional, and human number three is intellectual, which
Mm.
again is the
Mm-hmm.
mirror of this stage in which intellectually you see the higher values,
Mm.
you philosophize and think about the
Okay.
world, but you don't know how to change yourself.
Mm.
Now,
Or not willing to give up what you
ex-
so-called have,
that's
like
it.
the rich man who wouldn't give up anything to follow Jesus. That's why they say you could be
Mhm,
rich in different ways. You could be rich in intellect, not want to give up your intellect
mhm,
to move on forward, to follow, give everything up and follow me. You know what I mean? Give
mhm.
up all your riches and follow me,
That's it.
which which is the call of the master.
Mhm. Yeah, we have to give a chance to those beautiful values that we see. And that's
Mm.
stage four. But
Right.
that requires discipline, work. Maybe you have to be with a teacher.
Yes.
And some people develop their personality that way. That's okay.
Right.
It's better than giving up your musical talents and become a drug addict or an alcoholic.
Sure.
Mm,
Or both, because
yeah.
because in this
Yes.
culture, people are great musicians and great artists and great performers, but they live in that duality of their creation and they're also their demise, so to say.
Mhm.
Where the drugs and everything come and and the emotions come and take over, and they're battling with that back and forth all day every day.
Yes. And the tragedy is that in schools and universities, very few alternatives are given.
Mm.
In universities, especially in the US, you have to pay large amounts of money, and some people
Yes.
don't have money to study.
That's just only one point of view too. When you go to university, you're kind of locked in that school of thought like a religion. You're like, well,
Mhm.
I'm Harvard, I'm Princeton, I'm Yale, and they're stuck in the school of thought of the instructors that was there, and
Mhm.
they think that's the way.
Yes. Yeah, they have a sense of superiority. I have my
Mm-hmm.
credentials, which did not serve the world really, because the world is
Right,
full of doctors and PhDs and experts and specialists, and it's full of disease, wars, conflicts.
right,
So, what is the point of all that? That's not the cultivation of higher values.
right.
Higher values is true self understanding, emotional intelligence, the will
Yes.
to transform, even if it's developing an inborn skill. I am good at building. I am
Right.
good at painting or
Yep.
playing. Some people say I don't have any quality.
Yep.
I am just useless. The other day
Mm.
I watched a young guy, asking questions to people on the street, and he met a man in Dublin, and he asked him about his opinion on some political matters, but this guy, or this man, explained something that led to to tell how he felt. He said, "I don't have money. I don't have a career. I am a mess. I squander my life,"
Mm.
and it was all negative. Mm, But he said, "I have two theatrical plays in the drawer." So I thought, what kind of education this man received? Because if having certain talent to write he didn't use it, why he keeps thinking that he is useless?
Yeah.
He just conforms himself with that kind of mindset. I am a failure. I didn't have the discipline to become a man of a good family. I think it's a conditioning of the mind
Mhm.
that has to be overcome. And probably he's in a stage two. He was once in a stage three.
Mm.
He saw something that could be changed. Maybe he wrote
Yeah.
theatrical plays, but he could not bring something greater. And it doesn't mean he cannot.
Right.
Mm, Everything can start now, but you have to
Yes.
change your mindset.
Absolutely.
And this is where stage four begins. No, you have to make the effort, stop manifesting a negative emotion in a certain
Yeah.
occasion, or say no to an addiction at a certain
There it
moment,
is. Yep.
go in another direction because the
Yes.
universe will
Yeah.
open up opportunities.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could start something by stopping something.
Uh, that's it. The universe helps he who helps himself. Dios ayuda a quien se ayuda, we say in Spanish, no? God helps he who helps himself.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yeah.
that's like opening the taps. You know,
Yeah.
in the house
Right.
we have taps, but if you don't open the
Yeah.
general
Yeah.
tap, you cannot get the water.
Yeah.
So,
So if a man don't work, a man don't eat. You
mhm,
know what I mean? And that could be your inner work and adding to those virtues,
mhm, that's it.
feeding those divine virtues.
Even Aristotle and ancient philosophers said that we come with potentials. Aristotle called them virtues, and those
Mm.
virtues have to flower, to flourish.
Yes.
But in
Yes.
order to flourish, you have to
Mhm.
plant the seed, take care of
Yeah.
the nutrients in the land.
Yeah. That's the inner work.
Mhm. It's what many people don't see because we have been conditioned to think we are stupid, we are failures, we are sinners, we are
Yeah.
useless, and that's very dangerous.
Yeah. Or even they're so used to just having their hands out and being just give me what you're going to give me and that's what I'm going to take,
Mhm.
not applying themselves, not giving it an effort, which is an effortless effort, you know what I mean? They're just uh you know because
Mhm.
there is giving and receiving, you know what I mean? There's a give and take, and some people just take what you give them.
Yeah, yeah, that's the tragedy. Sometimes you give mindlessly, thinking that everyone is going to benefit on what you give, but you have to be very careful as well because some people are willing to take, and in the end, they want to take your whole arm and even curse you because you didn't
Yeah.
give them more. No? So
Yeah, right.
don't throw pearls to the swine. So
Right, there
the
it is.
master,
Well said.
the potential has to be pinpointed, and some people have a huge potential to
Yeah.
become not just better person, but a true personality.
Do
Someone.
you think they sometimes and they may see their potential, excuse me, they may see their potential as a burden, and they
Mm,
and like,
mhm,
oh, how am I supposed to carry this? I got all this potential, but they don't know which way to go with it, not what to do with it, how to express that it's like a blockage. They don't know how to express that potential, and they feel
mhm,
blocked and they get stagnated inside, and then you get all bound up, and then that energy is just in there kind of decaying. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Kind of like sitting dormant and like and it just they just don't know what to do with it in some cases,
Yeah,
possibly.
the fear of suffering in the process of making an effort.
That also, yes.
I've seen many fellows that had an interest in music, but they left it. They said, well, it's too complicated. what a pity, because if you want something, you need effort, you need concentration, but you have to overcome your laziness, your
Mm,
stupidity, and you have to give your mind a direction.
yes.
It's painful, but it's worth going through the process because you
Yeah.
get the benefit.
That's making that diamond body. You gotta
Mm.
you gotta you gotta polish all facets of it, the like the prism, so the light can shine through, and then you see all all the how they call that, the when you, because we only see in one wavelength or a couple wavelengths of light, but when you got that diamond polished and the light shines through, you see all the wavelengths of light, you see all the light as it is, you start seeing different facets, you
Mhm.
know that's, I think,
Yes,
that even as a term in diamond making, is the
the
facets.
facets, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl Jung thought of the I, the self, as a diamond with four facets, and he equated it to the Tetragrammaton. It's curious because he
Oh,
was in
wow.
the right track. He studied some Kabbalah and Gnosticism,
Yeah.
and well, if he had encountered Casimir Dabrowski, they both would have been able to bring something
Stand
really
back. Yeah.
beautiful
Right.
because they were on right tracks.
Yeah.
And well, in stage four, obviously we can start seeing the benefits and the fruits of
Mm.
what we can accomplish, but
Yes.
there is still a risk of falling back to the third, just as you can fall back to the second
Oof.
in the
Oof.
third stage.
And they
And
say that you're worse off than when you began, when you fall back.
exactly,
It's
that's
it's
it.
kind of like saying, like, when you put your hand to the plow, don't look back, or a dog going back over its
Uh-huh.
own regurgitation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the higher you go, the greater the fall.
That also.
It's not the same to fall from two to one
Right.
than falling from three to two.
Yeah. Right.
This
Correct.
this is where you start experimenting what I experienced, digestion problems,
Mm.
allergies, because you know something in you has to grow.
Mm. Right.
But if you fall back to dissonance, to depression, sadness,
Mm-mm.
um, self-deprecation,
Yeah.
then your body cannot stand that energy anymore. The Holy
Right.
Spirit is constricted, as
Yeah.
Paul said. Don't upset the Holy Spirit in you.
Yeah, yeah. Or they may say, even how they say that the blaspheme against the Holy Spirit could be a religious term.
Totally.
Yeah.
We blaspheme against ourselves and the Holy Spirit in ourselves when we don't do what we
Right.
have to do.
Right. Exactly.
It's an insult to intelligence.
Yeah.
Why did I give you all this light if you are trusting it
Yeah.
to the
Or
dust?
to be the prodigal son, to go squander it on wild living,
Mhm.
and eat the same food as the swine.
The problem is the mindset. If you believe you don't have anything or
Yeah.
you don't have will, then you are just going down the rabbit hole of those who impose those false ideas, because that's not true.
Right.
Even in the hands, we have everything written.
Yeah.
Palmistry is true.
Yeah. And on our hearts we have it written, right? The word
True, true.
written on our hearts.
Even in the breath, it
Mm.
is like the name of the Holy One, no?
Yes.
But no, I realize that if we humans make objects, technology that come with instructions, when you buy a car, you have an instruction. When you buy a
Right.
GPS, you have an instruction.
Yeah.
How in the universe wouldn't a human being bring an instruction?
Right.
Not the stupid instructions like those in books. No, no, written in the body,
Written.
in your
Yes.
palm, in the shape
Yeah.
of your head, your body. That
No.
says everything.
Yes. It is all there. It's all there. But you have to sacrifice some energy and some time to understand the directions and
Hmm.
notice the directions. And first, sometimes now the directions come in 5 languages. First, you got to find your language that you speak,
Hmm.
and then get the directions in that language.
Totally. Hmm.
No, it's like, give me some French directions, and I'll say that's all Greek to me because I'll be
Hmm.
like, well, I don't know no French, but yeah.
Yeah.
But also, with that being said, there's tools that you could go online now, type the French in, and get
Hmm.
it translated for you. So I mean, it's what steps you want to take, and taking the necessary steps. And like you said, some of them steps may be painful, but it's it's an order of things. It's all in an order of things. It's all in a
Hmm.
perfect order. There's no chaos in order, you
Hmm.
know. So
It's a way of understanding the language or laws of the universe. That's how we
mm,
really accomplish with
yes.
guarantees. Because some people think there
Oh,
is no guarantee. No, no, there
how it
isn't.
comes with a guarantee written on the
Exactly.
box, right? That's beautiful. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, when you buy something of
Wait,
quality, you need a
yeah,
3 year
you get
guarantee
a
at least.
guarantee. Yeah, but we don't know where they're guaranteed. Can I place you on hold for a second? Or you get the music in your ear. Their guarantee department don't answer the phone. You leave a message and we'll call you back.
Yeah.
That, uh,
And living with guarantees, the only way we can transcend these stages.
wow,
Because this woman that
that's
wrote to me
awesome, man.
said, we can all, so how can we transcend this stage?
Yeah,
Well, you have to
you're
understand.
guaranteed it. You're
Yeah.
guaranteed it.
The problem is that
That's
people isolate themselves. They think they can
yeah,
do it alone, and it's
yeah.
not possible.
We're all guilty, so to say, of that one. You know what I mean? And at a time you think and know what that is when somebody offers help, or there's help available and you don't accept it. That's ego
Mhm.
saying, I don't need that. I could do it my darn self. I'm this and I'm that. I'm the giant. You're the dwarf. Get up here. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the ego saying, I don't need your help. Every time somebody says, even carrying groceries, okay, oh, can I help you carry the groceries? No, I got it. Don't worry. I'm a big manly man. That's your ego saying that. That's not coming from true authenticity, you know?
Mhm.
So, yeah, the help is there. He says he'll never leave you, forsake you. I'm sending you a helper. He already told you the help is there. Accept the help.
Mhm.
There's not, there's, and we all have problems with doing that, in some shape, form, or degree, some degree of that. But, yeah, it's just so wonderful to know that help is there, and ever present in every moment, and willing and able and inexhaustible, and that's new to me. I'm enthusiastic about it. But them guarantees, oh, they come with guarantees too. Like, come on, like that's so amazing. It's
Yeah,
totally amazing.
I have noticed this increasingly in these years with people that, well, first maybe they send some email or they commented about something and they keep following my channels. But some of these people became members of my study group, you including. No?
Nice.
I
Yeah.
met, we have met, we meet every Friday, no?
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
they're really into inner work. They're
Yeah.
authentic, and we help each
Right.
other. Even
Yeah.
you
Wow.
help me. You all help me to
Yeah.
really believe that this is working.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
something.
I
Mm,
mean, by you the best way to learn is to teach, so to say. So
mm,
as you're facilitating this space of learning, you're going to learn something about yourself, a deeper understanding, a higher expression of that understanding that you already had. And I think that's why they use some terms is is we all got something to learn from one another. That's why you think the universe crosses our path, so to say, because we all got that something. We all got something to give that doesn't take away from the one, because a virtue, a divine virtue, cannot take away from another virtue.
Mhm.
Only a divine virtue only accentuates, amplifies another virtue. A virtue never takes away from another virtue. So when we're living in them divine virtues, we're actually, we're giving our 2 cents, so to say. We're putting our best foot forward.
We're
We're
living in
being
heaven already.
there. It is
Heaven,
exactly.
heaven on earth.
Yeah. Now imagine if, look, for 1 minute, if everybody did that in a day, if the
Mhm.
whole world said, we're connected, okay, through this internet, okay, we're connected. Let's sit here for 1 minute and everybody bees does the best version of their self. You know what I mean? Even if it's an act at first, act like the best version of yourself. You know what I mean? At least it's a start somewhere. At least it will give you a somewhere to begin.
Mhm. Anyway, in the stage 4, obviously we start manifesting the higher values,
Yes.
and if we continue, something in ourselves becomes cohesive. We cannot
Mm-hmm.
step back. So we keep
Mm.
growing
Yes.
and we reach what Dabrowski called the authentic personality.
Or Gorgev would say, you just reached the bottom of the stairs.
Yes, in the stage
you know?
5,
Yeah.
in the Enneagram is the unified I, the unified
Yeah.
self.
Oh,
And
yes.
Gurdjieff knew.
That's the bottom of the stairs. The whole time from 1 to 5, you think you was climbing the stairs. You didn't even get to the bottom of the stairs yet.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Uh,
Dabrowski suggested that there can be something like the astral body. He
hmm.
left it like a possibility, being
Yes. Right.
someone that thinks in terms of hypotheses. But I think he really understood what he was
Yeah.
into.
Right. Yeah.
And well, point 5 is exactly where mm, we reach a unification. So
Yeah.
we can have a
Mm.
true personality, which is
Right.
not one day in one way, another day
Right.
another. No, it's a
Yeah.
whole. We are
Right.
an expression of light
Yeah.
of virtues.
Right. Where's the next threshold at too in the Enneagram? Was that between 5 and 6?
Between 5 and 7, we
Okay.
introduce the following additional force because in the
Right.
point 5, we
Yeah.
start experiencing a sort of pressure to keep evolving. This is something that Dabrowski didn't touch because
Mm.
he just oriented his theories to the world of psychology and psychiatry.
Right. He
But
didn't want to get kicked out of the country club.
that's it. He was cautious.
Yeah. Right.
Let's tell the truth, but not too much.
Right.
Even though he said that most
Yeah. Right.
medical and educational institutions are
Yeah.
run by psychopaths.
Mm.
Gurdjieff said that if you stop evolving spiritually after
Yeah.
having started the
Oh.
process, you go to
Mm.
the
The madhouse, huh?
psychopathy,
Yeah. Wow.
because you are able to detach from your emotions in a certain
Yeah.
sense,
Right.
but you don't feel true conscience, divine
Ah.
conscience.
Oh, that's spooky place there.
It's very
That's a
dangerous.
spook. Yeah, that's very dangerous. That's a really spooky
The
place.
spiritual world is full of psychopaths.
Well, yeah.
They stop in their development
Yeah.
and they
Right.
became.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, even the universe. I mean, you could see something's off when a planet crashes into another planet and makes a moon, then makes an asteroid belt. There's something going wrong.
Mhm.
something went, something went a little something went a
Yes,
little haywire.
yes, I think the paths of the planets and even whole solar systems depend on the quality of vibrations of their
Mm.
inhabitants. So
Wow, absolutely.
if there is
Oh
something
boy.
off the tracks in a planet,
Wow.
that planet is going to
Oh wow. Off its axis, huh?
yes.
Huh. Off the track, so to say.
Now
Train off the tracks.
the axis of the Earth is moving now magnetically
Yeah,
and
big time. Yeah.
geographically.
Right. True north never moves though, so long as we got our more our inner compass attuned to the Holy One, true north never moves, so
True
we
North
all we could
is primordial Adam. That's why I made this other
mm,
diagram,
oh nice.
which I think it's a perfect combination of what we have seen with
Yeah.
Gurdjieff approach,
Yes.
which is not his, it's just a
Yeah.
different way of understanding
Right.
a teaching which
Exactly.
is universal. It's in many
Yeah.
traditions.
It's a truth to be shared. It don't
Mhm.
matter whose it is or where it came from.
Yes.
It's share the truth. That's all it is.
And I think, well, I feel that primordial Adam is the blueprint. So
Mm,
the true image in each one.
right.
We have
No. Yeah. Now,
not the Holy One.
yeah,
Mhm.
would the primordial atom be considered the first atom or the second atom?
The first Adam, the so-called Adam Arishon, which is the
Right.
one that was placed in the Gan Eden,
Right.
fell. So primordial Adam somehow was inside first Adam, but he was not able to bring into fulfillment
Mm.
because there
Too many
was,
mixtures.
yeah,
They mixed them up too much. They made them
yes,
dizzy.
he did not find the appropriate helmet or body
That,
or
yes. Right.
humankind in
Right.
order to develop because those
Mm.
humanoids that started to incarnate that first Adam
Yeah.
were like the aliens many
Right.
people see.
Right.
They were like amphibious,
Yeah.
reptoid, reptilian, what is known as Samael and Lilith.
Yeah.
And
So
even
so really just like the third eye is the first eye,
mhm.
the second atom is the first atom.
No, the second Adam, or the last Adam, as Paul called him,
Right.
is an expression of primordial Adam on Earth. Because primordial Adam is like a potential, it's like an image
Yes.
that
Got you.
must be downloaded.
Mm.
You can't have the software, but you have to implement that software.
That's not finding an appropriate helpmate. He couldn't find nobody to download the information with,
And that's it.
so to say.